Well, hopefully the weather will be perfect on Wednesday because, Lauren, a lot of excitement is building for the first manned space launch from U.S. soil in almost a decade. And while we're keeping a close eye on the weather and the preparations for that mission, others are looking to see how this could inspire the next generation of scientists. On your sides, Alex Osiris has the story for us tonight.
This mural on the side of Mosh brings us a little closer to the stars, but the work of an astrophysicist at the University of North Florida makes us feel even smaller.
Appreciating the size and scale of the universe is almost impossible for someone to do.
Dr. Jake Hewitt studies cosmic rays. Oversimplify that to energy from exploding stars in our galaxy and others. His work doesn't necessarily depend on the upcoming mission, but he says what we've learned by going to space has and continue to help us all.
My whole career has been the benefit of putting satellites and observatories into space. And, really in the 1980s and 90s, NASA did amazing things learning about the hole in the ozone, monitoring the Earth from space.
Hewitt also studied at a NASA facility, the Goddard Center, and says what we'll see this week could inspire generations of scientists. He recalls growing up watching missions and how astronauts repaired the Hubble Space Telescope.
Seeing the images, what the astronauts aboard the space shuttles were able to do in repairing Hubble and making it the observatory we all know of it as today, were really amazing.
Hewitt helps organize astronomy nights, which for 2020 have been postponed, but he hopes to get people out and observing the night sky again sometime soon. Reporting, Alex Osiris, First Coast News, on your side.